Welcome back to Supremely Black Podcast. This is your co-host D Rose. How y'all doing this week, fellas?
Man, doing great. Can't complain at all, man. Everything been copacetic, man. Just got back from the northwest not too long ago, man. I will say this: the state of Alaska is a beautiful place to be when it comes to wilderness, when it comes to outdoors. Bald eagles. I seen all type of bald eagles. You rarely see one of them around here, but man, out there it was just like the regular bird. Got a chance to eat fresh salmon that was caught by that particular person. They showed me how the process they go through with catching them, and still got some on the way. Got some salmon on the way too. They say gonna ship me out some. So man, family's good. In the deep of cheerleading competition and all that good stuff. So hey man, everything's great.
That's dope. How the comedy show go up there?
Man, I never felt so welcomed in a place after doing a comedy show. Like for real, like them people, we really appreciate you coming to Alaska. We got to get you on date to come back. When you guys want to come back? I heard that so many times. We really appreciate you coming out here. Thank you so much for coming out here. Are you guys going to Northern Alaska? Like, man, everybody want to take pictures. So man, it was a great show because this is only like the fourth like they don't have that up there. So this is like the fourth comedy show they done had in that town I was in, Ketchikan. And man, everybody was so appreciative, man. Everybody had a good time. It was a packed house. And man, they showed nothing but love.
Was it black people up there?
Yeah, because Ketchikan sounded a little sketchy.
I counted, and it was 6.5 of us. 6.5. Did I see with my own eyes. It was like 6.5.
Yeah, when you mentioned counted, I knew for a fact there was only a few. Like, you know.
It ain't a lot, man. It ain't a lot, but they was real cool, man.
Oh, okay.
But honestly, that might be.
Go ahead.
That might be a lot if there's only 30 people in the city.
No, they got more than 30 people. I mean, it's an island that's probably about a total about 50 miles long, maybe 40, 50 miles long. So it's a small community. Everybody know each other. Everybody cool. And they weren't worried about me because they be having a different type of racism up there. Like, it ain't racism, but they got other issues going on when it comes to that. Like, if you look at the old school stuff, you see the natives of Alaska, and they brown, you know what I mean? So I was running across people that down here, they just regular white folks. They like, yeah, I'm native. I'm part native, this, that, and other. And one of them made one statement, because I was talking, this white lady was talking to me, and she had mentioned something to him, because like I said, everybody pretty much know each other. And he was like, hold on, let me see what the white lady has to say to the native. And I'm looking at him like, have you looked in the mirror? Like, what are you talking, bro? Like, you over with red hair, gray eyes. Play it. Come up out of Alaska. Hey, you ain't gonna be no native. Like, hey, that white boy over there. That's what they gonna be saying. So, and they try to relate to me, like if they native, they look like they try to relate to me, like, cause you know we're brown, and I'm looking like, what? So they try to relate to me. Hey, bro, we got a whole different plight, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't. No, you can't relate to my struggle, man.
Yeah, if they going off of the skin complexion, we got a couple niggas coming there that think we was God up there, boy. Like, bro, like, that's crazy. Hey, but that's what's up though, man. Proud of you, man. I give you your flowers, dog. I think that's dope coming from, you know, small town Milan to be up there
small
doing comedy shows
Alaska.
in Alaska. Yeah.
From small town Milan to small town Alaska.
Yeah, but that's still, hey,
bro, it was nothing but love.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's a place I couldn't live at, but I mean, you know, but it was nothing but love.
That's dope, man. Hey, one thing before we get to spirits, man. What's your fourth quarter goal that you going for?
Continue to focus on comedy. Continue doing that. Continue to visit as we book some more shows coming up. Got shows in Chicago, some more coming up in Columbia, South Carolina. So I'm continue to focus on that. Continue to focus on eating healthier, quit eating this trash, and I do work out. I don't work out as much as I would like to. I ain't in that habit of doing the 5 days like I once was. So I'm trying to get back in that habit eventually, and then man, continue to be a better husband, father, possibly look for another main income position into comedy, get to where it's paying all the bills. But yeah, that's fourth quarter. That's it. That's it. Fourth quarter. Spirits.
All is good with me. No complaints here. So just grinding, and that's my fourth quarter goals as well. Just grind out the year. Trying to position myself for something special in 2024. So just grind out the year or whatnot, and that's about it. Rose.
Yeah, man, everything good. I actually, my aunt came down last Friday and stayed to Monday evening. She's a huge Steelers fan, so she wanted to come down here for the game. Long story short, she ended up oversleeping, so we didn't make it down there, but she still got to see the city. We had a good time. But she actually saved her money because if you watch sports, man, the Texans put that thing on the Steelers, and it was shocked me. But I think she was money well kept. So she overslept for a reason, you know. God knew what was going on, man. But as far as my fourth quarter goal, man, just really tapping back into some of the stuff that I was doing prior to when everything got to moving around just in life, as everything's starting to settle, you know, just really just about to lock in on a few things that for financial stability will put me in a place that, you know, everything will be good is the best way I can say that. But just everything's good on my end. So proud of y'all, man. Keep pushing, keep doing what you got to do. You know, I just want to ask y'all that question, see how we close it out since we are officially in the fourth quarter. But to jump into the topic, I know last time we left off, last week we didn't get to meet or record rather, but we left off with a few topics. I know for myself, I closed out with Charlamagne and the Larry Elder conversation that we were talking about, and that I felt that Charlamagne should have took offense to when Joe Biden has stated, "You're not black if you don't vote for me." Charlamagne didn't take offense. I just kind of feel like there's a lot of different things that occur. And from my perspective is that we don't speak up enough about things that actually violate us in that space in regards to wanting to protect either your image or your job. Spears, I know you had a comment on it, but we didn't want to go too far into it because we wanted to save it for this next episode. Do you remember exactly what you stated or how you felt? And we can just kind of roll into the topic from there.
Not particularly, because if my mind serves me right, I think you had said something, not much, but said something, and I can't remember what you said that was leading me into my comment. So if you want to start with your comments, it might trigger what I was going to say or whatever, if you want to dive in first, or Flake, if you got something to say about that particular topic, and then therefore maybe I could trigger, my mind would trigger to what I was going on that day before we cut it off.
Go ahead, D-Ro.
Yeah. So basically what I was saying is that I don't understand of how I felt that when he had stated that you're not black if you don't vote for me, I felt that Charlamagne should have took offense. That's where I went with that. And we cut it off right there because we didn't want to get into the whole thing because that'd have been an entirely different episode. But the reason why I say that is because I feel as if that the reason why I felt that Elder had a better approach to the overall interview is because on the Breakfast Club side, it sounded scripted. And when he hit them with, why did you not feel offended by it? I don't think the Charlamagne was prepared to get asked that question. And his only defense was that he didn't take offense to something like that because he doesn't get moved by things like that. And I just don't see how that could move you, and a white man telling you that you aren't black and that you don't represent something if you don't vote for him. Like, why does our allegiance have to be to the Democratic Party or even the Republican Party? I don't understand that. Like, how you're not offended, but other things that Elder said you was offended by, it didn't make sense to me.
Now I will say this, in particular to what you just said. I don't think Charlamagne was offended by anything that Elder said. Now, Miss Figueroa might have been. I think Charlamagne, he does a good job of keeping his cool and his calm and his collection when he's doing his job and his profession. So I can't say that he got offended. Now, I will say this. Me personally, I probably would have felt some type of way. But when I think about it, and if I'm being honest, me reacting out of my emotions and feelings might have been immature, and it might have shown a little bit of maybe I'm not prepared for the spotlight that I would be in if I served that role. Because one, just like your parents told you, you can't go out acting an ass. Like you're a representation of, you know, your family, your last name, everything like this. So you got to have some type of couth about you. You got to have some type of stability about you where you can't be moved by what people say, do, or how they act. And then two, the other part of it that I just thought about when you was giving your points is, how can a white man tell me I'm not black enough? So why would I let that move me? You're a white man. You don't know nothing about this. One, clearly, I'm black enough, and being Charlamagne, I'm talking about if I was Charlamagne color, I'm black as it damn near gets. So therefore, you telling me that I'm not black just because I don't vote for you ain't gonna move me, because, excuse my French, who the fuck are you? Now, see, that's probably what I would have said on air. But again, like I said, thinking about it now, that probably would have been an immature response, given the platform that I have, given that I am looking to get more delegates, more politicians, more people who are in the industry, people who might be of service or whatever and we might have different opinions, and they might say something, and then it might be, oh, anytime I say something he don't like, he gonna spaz or whatever, and then it might jeopardize my job and my livelihood. So that's what I got to say about that right now, just thinking about everything that you just said. And I don't know if this was gonna be how I was gonna articulate it and what I was actually gonna say a couple of weeks ago, but just right now, thinking about it and trying to be real and transparent with myself, that's what came.
So, okay, I do have just a quick response to that. So, and I get where you're coming from, and I respect that, but like a big part of me is, why are we so worried about public perception or the next deal and not having people respect you and the people that you quote unquote stand for? And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times when people mention Breakfast Club, they mention culture. And I don't think that you have to spaz out to get your point across. I do think that there's a way that you could have corrected him to make sure that you respect me and people like me, that's not something that you feel that you should say, especially since you are not of my ethnicity to be saying that. Like, who are you, true enough, but why do you feel that that's something appropriate that you could say? Because as I should remain professional, you can't think that that is as well. And me checking you doesn't mean that I have to be unprofessional. I could be making sure that you understand that that comes across as disrespectful, and that could be a talking point. It's like, this is how this guy came with that. Even though you're not offended for yourself, how the other people are supposed to perceive that. Because we can't be worried about your job, but then you have culture talk. So where's the culture just to be disrespected? Because you can correct them without making a fool of yourself. Just as foolish as he was making that statement.
Well, I got two responses. So one, in my defense, I didn't see when Biden said it. I seen the clickbait and everything, but I didn't even open it or read it or whatever. And then I don't know what Charlamagne's exact response to that comment was. So in Charlamagne's defense, I don't know what his response to it, because he could have very well handled it the way that you said. I don't know. I'm guessing he didn't because of your point of view, but I don't know what was said or what he didn't say. But two, something that you said that I agree with, but I'm gonna put it on the flip side of it. Why am I worried about what people think of me? I set my standard for myself, or whatever the case may be. So if people inside the culture, outside the culture have something to say about anything that I do or don't do, why am I worried about it if I'm comfortable with who I am as a person? So that's another thing about the situation is, if I'm comfortable in my skin, no matter if it's Biden and he said something that he shouldn't have said and I checked it or I didn't check it, no matter if it's the Jane and John Does who comment in the comment section of YouTube or whatever platform we're on or whatever, I shall not be moved by what anybody says. If I'm comfortable in my skin and if I accept the way that I reacted or accepted what was said to me. So that's just my point of view on it and how I feel. But again, like I said, I see you respond and talk about Charlamagne didn't say nothing or check it in a respectful manner when Biden said that. But I do want to know then, did anybody say anything? Because Angela Yee was on the episode that time too, right? She was still a co-host, or she was already off?
I think that was just if I'm not mistaken, that was a one-on-one. It was just him and him and Biden talking back and forth. Yeah.
Okay, that was a one-on-one thing. Okay, so again, see, I thought it was actually Breakfast Club platform thing. So I didn't watch the interview. I didn't see it, so I don't know nothing about it besides the clickbait stuff that I've seen and everything.
I got you. Flake, what's your thoughts? Not just on that, but just in general.
In general, Black people in the media do not have to do that to kind of, save a job. I don't think that's what Charlamagne was doing. Charlamagne, his response was kind of like a mute response, and he just kept pushing through it. One, probably thinking that he old white man, he don't know what he's talking about, no way. And what do I expect from an old white man as it is? I think that Joe Biden might have said that due to all the racist stuff that Trump was pretty much rolling with during that time. They kind of help him out, but that ain't help him out at all. But yeah, I've seen Black people like check folks on certain things all the time when people are saying stuff incorrect, especially when, Black people been on CNN, Fox News, things of that nature. They be checking them right then and there, and it ain't gonna lie to you, it'd be funny sometimes. It'd be real funny sometimes. So. I think as Black people come along and as you see us more in media, you don't see us holding our tongue as much now as we possibly did. I don't want us to take that one situation between Joe and President Joe Biden and Charlamagne. That's how it always is. Charlamagne's one person is not quick to hold his tongue either. And regardless of, it's been times they have white politicians up there. They push them just like they push Larry Elder. Like it ain't been no difference, on who they push and who they like. They even pressed Hillary Clinton when was up there a little bit. They even pressed her a little bit. So the main thing they do is press folks when these politicians come up there because they try to get a real response out of them instead of what they, how sometimes you look at, debates with politicians and you can tell, this was a scripted response, this, that, and the other. And I think they try to get them off their script and give them and get some direct answers. Now, you saying you don't think they was prepared for it? They probably wasn't prepared for Larry Elder because he wasn't going off no script. He wasn't going off no script at all. And I think the main thing they just wanted him to pretty much say is like, don't be on here acting like discrimination and things of that nature don't exist. And I think that's kind of how, with the way Larry Elder was saying things, he kind of made it seem like that. And I think that's where they weren't really feeling him on that. And I think that's where Tesla really got enough. And I think that's where Tesla really got no feelings during that time of the interview.
I got you. I can understand that. But then you also, just to kind of nip that in the bud, you said that he ended up not even being a part of the ballot because he was restricted for some reason, right?
Yeah, he didn't end up being part of the ballot because of three or four things you got to do to be, you got to get a proper donation amount. And there's a couple other things in there to actually get on the ballot. He claimed that he didn't know anything about it. They told him to the last minute that he didn't meet those criteria. He was stating that he had met those criteria probably a couple weeks in advance or something like that. So a lot of people saying like, hey, discrimination still exists. And he was talking about, well, it don't exist, this, that, and other. I still stand on what I said, but I am suing the Republican Party due to this. And it's like, so what you suing for then? So it's like, so if you're saying it don't exist, why are we here? Why are we suing? Why are we doing this? If you claim that, what your skin color discrimination have anything to do with it at all, because when he was on the Breakfast Club, it was no doubt that he should have been on the ballot because he talked about some of those checkpoints and said he had already reached a couple of those levels.
I agree. I just think that that's funny that he's suing for that, but still won't address the issue that you still can run into some whatever it could be, restrictions, discrimination, etc. But I think that's just kind of funny that ended up being his fate when he stood so strong on it. But then you want to sue basically for being discriminated against, regardless if you say it's color or not, whether it's policy and procedures. Now you see how it feels, so maybe you will shift your stance and being more, what I would say, intentional in regards to what you're actually speaking about with this quote unquote structure of what you're going against, because it impacts everybody. So, and then you got to realize if you're trying to disrupt their structure, I mean, if you ain't the chosen one coming out of some of these spaces, you better believe that you're gonna run into some issues, brother.
That's what I was gonna say. Discrimination might not be the color of your skin. They might discriminate against him because they feel like you ain't got enough experience in the politician world, or you ain't got the amount of dollars, or you ain't friends with this person. Knowing somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
Yeah. Or he wouldn't follow a script.
All that stuff played together too. Right. Or it wouldn't, following that proper script. We don't want you to be the front runner.
Exactly.
Pretty much like they did Bernie Sanders.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, though, with a person like that, you can't convince them that it's something that it really is. They're going to be hell-bent on their ideology or their narrative that, oh, it was just a hiccup, or like you said, policy and procedure, but I met it. I don't know why y'all whatchamacallit, but he's not going to see it in the eyes or in the light of discrimination or racism upheld against them. So therefore, I mean, with people like that, there's nothing you could do about it, because they're hell bent on the system being one way and believing it to be fair, to be equitable, to be equal, when we all know that it's not. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, and he gonna say what he gotta say about it and do what he gotta do about it. Real quick, fellas, do y'all have anything else about that topic? Because I know we had one more topic that we wanted to breach and broach, and so I just wanted to know, was there anything else about Larry Elder or about Charlamagne and not expressing himself or giving a more firm rebuttal to Biden saying something to the essence of what he said to him a couple of years back during the interview?
Yeah, I won't even just put it towards the actual part, the people that we spoke about on this. I would just say this, is that I love to see that Black media is starting to take a logical approach and coming with facts instead of it being so emotional. I think that is really changing how it's viewed and how people receive it, because what I've learned, even for myself, is that I take in stuff way better if it's not something that's all emotional and just how you feel. And if it's fact-based, I can relate to it more, because, not to say it in just being insensitive, but if I wasn't directly impacted by something, it's kind of hard for me to feel how you felt, but I can understand where you're coming from if you can provide me with the results to say, hey, this is how this is impacted in this area. But I am glad that we're starting to do that, and not everything being so race-based and race-baiting. I can truthfully respect that, because we are aware that there's always going to be issues, but the more that we can provide facts, it makes people that may be on the fence pick a side, and then you can move regardless of where they from. Numbers don't lie, facts are facts. And I'm glad that we are starting to see more talking heads, social media, whatever, becoming more fact-based and not just race-based. I see it's a lot of them still out there, but I am starting to see that we're taking a different approach, and I think I respect that. Let me just say that, but nothing towards them, but that's all I got with that. Did you have anything else though, Spirit?
No, sir. In reference to that conversation, no, sir, I didn't. I second what you said, and I'm just glad that we're given the opportunity now. We have platforms now where we can say what we want, how we want it, and not be dictated by FCC airwaves or other people or whatever the case may be, even though, you know, some platforms are still trying to restrict ways you make money or whatever the case may be. But I mean, I'm glad that we all have a voice.
Yep. So Flizzy, you can go ahead or I can go ahead and speak on it. Know that this was your topic, because that's your boy, y'all boy. So, you know.
Hey, my boy, I just thought it's an interesting topic because I've been around some black men that has went through the same thing. My boy, T.O., Mr. Number 81, second best receiver of all time. That's the debate for another day. He came out and stated that, you know, that in his attempt to date black women, they didn't like him too much, and that went from high school to college. He was picked on and talked about, and so he tried white women, which wasn't too bad. Now, one thing that everybody missed was that he said, I didn't give up on black women. It's just I opened my horizons to other races because it seemed like I wouldn't get along with black women or they didn't like me. So I was wanting to get y'all thoughts about it. I think a lot of people missed that one point that he made, that he don't focus on a skin color now, just more of a vibe and how he relates with someone. And it was a lot of, you know, black women was giving him hell. Oh man, I don't know why, you know, this why black women, everybody gotta come up with putting down black women when discriminating, when talking about their I can't even talk. Their preference. I don't know why they got down black women when speaking on their preference or this, that, and other. For those who wonder, when I do comedy, this never happens. It's only when I come here. It's only when I log on here that I'll get a loss of words for whatever reason and get to mispronounce words.
Yeah, go ahead, Mayweather. Go ahead, Mayweather.
Hey, you know it'd be hilarious though if somebody at one of his shows just yelled out Floyd.
I ain't read nothing. I ain't even read nothing.
Hey, I might bomb one of his Johnson and just holler it out. He don't even know I'm in town and just say it one time. But nah, man.
But I was going to get y'all thoughts about that. Have y'all ever experienced that, or know somebody who experienced that? Where I know I have, but I'll let y'all tell y'all stuff. But I know I've experienced it with a couple of black dudes where something like this happened, and I seen it with my own two eyes. But yeah, I'll go ahead.
This is what I don't understand, and it kind of goes back to the last point that Rose made about the other topic and subject. Not being emotional about things or overly emotional, because emotions is human nature, so it's gonna happen, like if we're being real. So emotions come in, but not being overly emotional and listening to everything that's said versus just listening to the parts that trigger you to be upset or happy or whatever the case may be, and leave out the totality of the story. The first thing that was said that you said, Flake, because again, I seen the clickbait, but I didn't open it. I didn't read it. I ain't done nothing about it. So
what I told you is exactly pretty much what he said.
Okay, so the first thing that you said was in his attempt. So he attempted to date black women. It's not like he just said, "Oh, to hell with y'all, fuck y'all from jump," or whatever the case may be. He attempted to date black women, and then he said his experience didn't go well. If that's his experience,
and let me put a little bit on that experience. Where he grew up at, he pretty much grew up around all black people. FYI. Yeah. Let's put it out there like that. Let's put the information there also.
Yeah. So in his attempt, he said his experience didn't go well. That's that man's experience. So he's allowed to make a decision based on his experiences in life. The second thing, and another important thing, and I know you hit on it a couple of times, was that he ain't given up on black women. He hasn't given up. So if he hasn't given up, and to my understanding, T.O.'s still a bachelor, or he might be dating, but he's not married. So I don't know if he's actually dating somebody right now, but he's still a bachelor in sense. if he's saying he hasn't given up on black women and he meets the right woman that comes along and she happened to be black, she happened to be Puerto Rican, she happened to be white, he's open to any possibility and any race of woman or ethnicity of woman because he hasn't given up on anybody. So when women come and say, I don't know why we always have to be put down for y'all to be elevated or whatever the case may be, I just don't see how that's the case in this sense. Now, I know it does happen sometimes in certain things and everything, but you can't cry wolf every time somebody of stature or even just a regular person says, I would rather be here than there, or I would rather do this, because y'all never get mad when your sister girl go date a white man, or when whoever it is when Serena Williams married a billionaire white man or whatever the case may be, y'all root that on, y'all cheer that, y'all pound it up. And then also when y'all talk about, how black men don't treat you as well as whatchamacallit, we don't ever come out and say, why y'all got to put us down to elevate y'all or whatever the case may be. Now, I know in essence, there are some black men who do that and be like, why y'all got to put us down? But I'm just talking about in an overall spectrum. I would think, at least the man that I deal with and the people that I surround myself with is not worried about, why are you putting us down to elevate yourself or to elevate this person? We just laugh it off, to be honest, because it's funny that you feel like that's where it is. And if you feel like that's where it is, that's your prerogative. We respect that and we accept that and we move on. You just not in our particular pool of people that we associate with. So my thing is just, let's not be so emotional about things and let's listen to the totality of the message and the story that's going on. And that's one brother. Why are you upset over one brother? Why does it matter what that one brother does? There's a million other black men who love black women out here in this world that you could pick, choose, be happy with if you so see fit to do so. Rose?
Yeah, man. I feel him, growing up, skinny, black as hell, big head, all that. I get it. I mean, I didn't happen to turn into a gold jacket Hall of Fame NFL player. I mean, I get where you come from, T.O., but, when you come back home and things are a little different, it ain't the same approach that they had when they were calling you the African booty scratch on the back of the bus or all that. So I get it. Your little feeling will hurt, but like to Spears' point, he wasn't down talking black women. He still said that's what he wanted. He just was stating that he wasn't accepted. So I just take it as he went to where he was wanted, where they probably called him sexy instead of ugly. Where they probably said you was handsome instead of calling him mump. I love your skin over black ass. That's just what it was, bro. Like, and honestly, if he didn't have money, it wouldn't be an issue because, to your point, the talking heads on social media, if he wasn't somebody of a status, girl, y'all can keep him. We ain't want him no way. And that's just what it was. So he happened to have a few dollars in a little status. So it's a good conversation. I just think that you all are missing the point is that he's not even judging people. I got homeboys that got biracial kids that have married outside of their race. Now, do I joke with them? Absolutely. Could I see myself marrying a white woman? No. It's not that I'm against it. I used to mess with white girls. There's not a thing with it, but his most important part that everybody skipped over is that he's going off of a vibe and where he feels comfortable at. And honestly, the only way he was probably able to get to that point is from being rejected. And so what hurt him, or you all were intentionally trying to hurt him by the ignorant comments based off his look, that they ain't for you, they ain't for you, actually helped him shape the mindset. And so as he started dating outside of his race and ethnicity, he found that his piece were going where he's accepted and wanted. So what hurt him growing up helped him in the long run, because at the end of the day, regardless of what color you is, you shouldn't be with anybody that's not making you happy. And if he happy, do your thing. I might still have some jokes. Everybody might still have some jokes, but you might get a black girl and, your partner say she ain't cute. She might have a bag, or vice versa. That's just part of it, man. So I hated that for T.O. because I understand. But I thought it was kind of weird because I'm like, even though he was skinny and dark skinned, he was tall. So I thought he would at least get some brownie points with that. But the way he made it sound, I'm like, whew. You know what I'm saying? Maybe his skin ain't as thick, because I'm trying to tell you, I done heard every joke you could think of coming up in my small town. Hey, bro, you were skinny and black. Hey, you better be able to come back with something. If not, you're gonna have a long bus ride daily.
Like, you know, T.O. a little sensitive, man. That don't follow him in his adult years.
Yeah,
he a little sensitive.
That's my quarterback.
Right. I kind of felt where he's coming from, even though I hadn't experienced that. But I know people like I went to college with, and I've seen them get like dissed to their face because they're a little bit different. Now they might have been. I had one person that was in the anime back then, and before it got popular with black folks. And the black girls was like, what's so weirdo with these weird cartoons and cards and this, that, and other. Like, boy, if you don't get out our face. And so he got that more often than, you know, someone who could relate with him. So he went into another direction. I wasn't even mad at him. I seen it for myself. I was like, you probably should be still searching, and probably, you know, we didn't go to HBCU, so you might want to pull up at HBCU. Yeah, I promise you, at HBCU, it is a black girl there that watch anime and all that that you will fit right in with. But I mean, we can only go with what we had during that particular time. Also, flip side women, y'all do it too. Like it's been black girls where the black dudes, they not interested in me because of whatever, and they be dating a white dude. We ain't got no problem. We just like, okay, well, you know, it is what it is, you know. So you know, let's not miss the point of what he said. He just opened his horizons, his options to what everybody should be anyway. As Phil, Dr. Umar, don't listen to this part. But look, everybody should be open to how a person making you feel. Are y'all vibing? Are y'all loving each other? Can y'all have a conversation? Because you thinking about marriage, when you get 75, and you might not be able to do what you used to do. You got to be able to sit on the porch and have a conversation with somebody. You got to be able to vibe with that person when all sexual stuff is out the window. So that's what everybody should be looking for: a person they can vibe with, a person they can be with, talk with, love, make a great partner for life. I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, what was you up there in Alaska? What was it? Catch a can?
Catch a can,
yeah. They got y'all ready, but go ahead.
It was real friendly.
1,000 lashes for Mr. Flake up there.
They were real friendly.
But no, that's real though, bro. Real talk. Go and make you feel comfortable, man.
Yeah. Make you feel comfortable. Whatever make you feel. Yeah. And T.O. get a white woman.
Bring you peace and make you happy.
And T.O. get a white woman, the next black man, like, it's more for me. Yes.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what's crazy though. I think that conversation, even though it was very balanced, I think that's his setup. So when y'all see me out in Colorado,
he sure been out there bowling. He sure been out there quite a bit.
I ain't gonna say too much, but the fellas that know, you ain't making that many trips all the time for nothing. All right, just leave it at that.
Yeah. Him Dion cool. Oh, that cool. Every week, every home game.
Football. Yeah, it's out there football. Yeah, that's what's up. But y'all got the Black Businessman and the Supreme Black Person of the Week.
I do. One thing, since we touched on Colorado, I don't know if y'all boys seen, but next year Warren Sapp is going to be defensive line coach out there in Colorado, and going to join Deion Sanders' coaching staff. So that was big, and that's dope that, you know, they pulling together and they bringing them resources to educate, to teach, to inspire, to uplift, to be a role model and a figure for these young men that they bring into the school. So I just wanted to mention that since we.
I thought he was already coaching, as in not official.
When he was on, I ain't gonna say dude's show because I'm really not a fan of him no more. But he was talking about he got to make sure he doesn't want to make it official with Colorado because I think he has to get like a degree or something. He said he got to take care of his business, and he know for a fact.
Oh, okay.
But that's his goal is to coach. He just don't want to make it official until, you know. But he knows Brian. Yeah. So I think he's taking care of his business with that, but that is huge.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, and for give me 1 second. I'm sorry. For Black Business Minute this week, we have Fourth Phase. You can find them at fourthphasebox.com. FOURTHPHASEBOX.com. And what Fourth Phase is an aftercare box for mothers for after birth and everything. So Fourth Phase after birth care box is the brainchild of Nana Ison Awikowo and Marcia A. Cole, two friends and former magazine and digital editors, also known for their philanthropic work. It has a lot to say, but about how they were started and what made them create this. But I'm gonna go to the meat and potatoes of it because I'll be reading all day if I didn't. Created by moms for moms, Fourth Phase After Birth Care gift box helps mothers heal, feel, and be heard. Each Fourth Phase After Birth Care gift box is curated with a new mother's physical and emotional recovery in mind. The 12 products featured in each box holds this promise to be hand-created, tested by new moms, organic, phthalates-free, non-toxic, and sustainably sourced. So Fourth Phase box is our Black Business Minute for this week. Again, you can find them on fourthphasebox.com. And for all you mothers out there who go through postpartum, but also who just need something to help them deal with the entry to motherhood, or if you're even if you're having your second or your third child or whatever, but you need something to help you take care of yourself because you're always giving and nurturing that newborn, or even all your kids in general and your husband or your boyfriend or whatever. Checking the Fourth Phase box to help you heal, to help you position yourself and settle yourself so you could be healthy, wealthy, and free. So Fourth Phase box is our Black Business Minute for this week.
Salute to them.
Our Spring Black Person Week goes to Robin Roberts. She is an anchor on ABC's Good Morning America. She was born in Tuskegee, Alabama. Went to Southeastern Louisiana University. She started off, and I want to go to her career because nowadays, you know, you see people and they just on TV all of a sudden. So I want to start off her career. She started as a sports anchor in Hattiesburg, Mississippi for a news station. Then she moved on to Biloxi, Mississippi a year later as a local sports anchor. Then in 1986, which I did not notice, she was a sports reporter for Nashville, Channel 4 in Nashville, Tennessee, as a sports anchor as well. She left from there and moved on to a station in Atlanta, Georgia. Continued to be a anchor and a regular news person there, and also on a radio station at V103. Then she got her big blessing as being a sports anchor on Sports Center, where she did that for 15 years. Then she moved on to Good Morning America, where she has been for the remaining amount of her time. She was also inducted to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame in 2012 for what she done on the broadcasting end. So give it up for the news anchor, Miss Robin Roberts.
Salute, Miss Roberts. I didn't know she was on ESPN. That must have been before I got cable. I didn't know.
Yeah. She was on ESPN for like 15 years from, it's in our little younger years and whatnot.
Shout out to Miss Roberts, though.
I think it was from 90 to 2005, I want to say.
Yeah, shout out to her, man. That's dope.
All right, for all our kings out there, put your crown on, tilt that thing to the side. Let them know you are a king. For all our queens out there, put your crown on, tilt that thing to the side. Let them know you are a queen. We are Supremely Black, and we out.
Peace.
Diamonds are forever.